and we are here today to talk about a wonderful book that we are reading on Clubhouse. The name of this book is entitled Unstuckness. It's by a young woman by the name of Jamillah Cupe, and Jamillah is an amazing author. In fact, this is not the only book she has written, but this is the book that we are currently reading in the Right Where You Are book club ministry. And this book deals with, just like the title of the book says, breaking generational chains and strongholds through prayer. We were just on Instagram talking about this, and we want to invite you to join us today. If you're on Clubhouse, please join us. If you're not on Clubhouse, join Clubhouse and come in. This interview is going to be amazing for several reasons. This author is going to be there. We're going to interview her, and then it's going to be a time of ministry as well. A lot of people go through things. They go through cycles in their families. They go through cycles in relationships, and sometimes they wonder, why am I still going through the same things over and over? If you're on, thank you for joining. Let me know you're here. Put in the chat where you're from, please, and I would be just gracious if you would be willing to join us this afternoon, and I promise you, you will be blessed. You'll be blessed. You'll be blessed. Jamillah Cupe wrote this book. She shares some of the things that she dealt with in her life, in different seasons and different stages of her life. God bless you, Jovette. That's Cousin Jovette. God bless you. If you can, take the moment to share this. But this afternoon, if you're in Pacific time zone at 1 o'clock, if you are in Central time zone, that'll be 3 o'clock. If you are in Eastern time zone, that will be 4 o'clock. We're going to be interviewing Jamillah Cupe. She shares strategies. She shares prayers. She helps you to identify patterns within your family and cycles. How many of you notice that your cousin used to do certain things, your uncle used to do certain things, maybe grandma did certain things, or auntie, or your sister, and then the auntie before her, or the cousin, and you keep saying it's a continuous cycle, or there's this pattern that this always happens. Why? Why are you stuck there? But better yet, do you want to remain stuck there? Or let me ask you this. Do you know you don't have to be stuck there? How about that? You do not have to be stuck in that place. You know, God is so faithful, so kind, so wise, so considerate, so concerned about everything that concerns you, that he went on the other side of the world and found a young lady by the name of Jamillah Cupe and had her to write this book. If you're on, please share this so that we can get into the algorithm and make people aware of this. We want as many. You know what? When we find out about a good restaurant, we will tell everybody, oh, my God, the nachos were marvelous. Oh, my girl, the chicken, the sauce. Oh, the spaghetti. Oh, my God, their bread is that, right? How many people do you know, and you see that they're stuck? You see that there's a pattern that they keep. There's a cycle. How many of you have a friend, and you know that friend is an amazing person, gifted, talented? If you love them, share this video so they can get this video and so that they can join me today on Clubhouse. Um, One of my mods are on here. Sister Nika, if you're on here, I don't know if Darlene is on yet. Can you please put the link to today's session on Clubhouse in the comments for me? Are either of you available to do that? NB, are you available to do that? I have Georgia on with me. I have Tennessee on with me. Um, and I'm just honored that you all took the time out of your morning to join me. This book, even as I read this book looked like it's talking to anybody anybody, everybody, preacher, pastor, apostle, teacher, evangelist, saint, sinner, loser, or winter, summer, spring, or fall. This book has something in here for you. If you've ever been stuck, you'll see it in here. If you feel stuck right now, or if you have somebody that you love and you know they're struggling, they're stuck, read this book. Join this interview. You'll be able to get strategies and prayers that will help. You'll be able to identify those cycles. You'll be able to see the pattern, and better yet, not just see them, but strategies how to break them. Prayers that you can pray. There are certainly things that we need to say and do to help people. If we see somebody sick, they have a cold, we'll recommend people, even in this season, I'll say allergies. Everything's blooming. We know they have, try this, try that. Tell them to try this. Tell them to try looking at this book. This book is in 3 parts, but there's identifying things, there's prayers, but there's also a place where you can journal. Do you know when you write, the Bible always tells us, write the vision, make it plain. We write about things and we can look at it and read it. We can wow, is that how that is? But then also you can begin a strategy. This book is one such thing. It helps you create a strategy. It helps you you can read this book and you can envision your freedom. Vanessa Bell Armstrong did this song a while back. It says, to vision my freedom, I have faith that can conquer in anything. And this book will make you feel it and know it. It's more than a feeling. It's principles. It's scripture. It's purposeful. If you want to do and be a person that's fulfilling your purpose, helping others, guess what? The power of one person getting unstuck. Do you know how many lives hang in the balance when people are stuck? How many of you ever saw that movie, Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life? So what happened is he decided to speak, I'll say a word curse over himself and say, I wish I was never born. And it happened. And then guess what he realized? If he wasn't born, how many people would have been alcoholics? How many people would have died? Even he realized that because he was alive, his brother went to the military and was able to help save a whole platoon of people, which in turn, different cities from across the world were saved because the seed that was in their loin was saved. When you save one person, you can save generations. And you know what the beautiful thing about this book is also? It's not just for you or the generations forward. It can help the generations before. Sometimes there may be a grandma, and don't eliminate the fact that if grandma is yet alive and you see things in grandma that you may think, why does she do that? But you know grandma loves you, right? But you see things that grandma may be doing. You see things that auntie may be doing, uncle. And you see that same thing in you. That's a pattern. So since you see this pattern and you're stuck in that pattern or you're stuck in that cycle, do you want your children to be stuck in that pattern or cycle? Do you want your grandchildren? Do you want your nieces and nephews to be stuck in that pattern? Or you may have a godchild, a goddaughter, a godson, nieces and nephews who are dear to you like your own children. Do you want them to continue to perpetuate those things? Doesn't have to be, beloved. This author is going to join me today on Clubhouse. If you are in the Pacific time zone at 1 o'clock Pacific time, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Eastern, join me on Clubhouse. If you're on here now, please take the time to give us some love or like this or share this so we can get this shared out so people will know to join us and people can have this information to know that. Do you know how many people woke up this morning even that may have felt stuck or feel stuck? They can join this interview today. This author is going to share how she wrote this book, how God brought freedom in her life, how she came. Nika, can you also share the link? Copy the link from, you can go to the Clubhouse, copy that link, and put that link also in there for me. We don't want anyone that we know and love to be stuck. If you think you know, I have this author on today. Her is Jamillah. Jamillah's going to share the personal things. She's the author of the book. She penned this book by the leading of the Holy Spirit, and because of her love for people and her love for her family, her love for her godchildren. What I like about this, I'm going to open this up here. She, let me get to this page here. She dedicated this book to her godchildren. This so impressed me when I saw this, because it spoke volumes. She said, listen to this. She says, I dedicate this book to my current generation and the future generations of my whole family, as well as the lives of other families, with the belief that the wisdom and prayer strategies shared in this book will assist with putting an end to the foundational ills that have plagued individuals and families repeatedly, generation after generation. This book is transformational. Your life will never be the same. The key word for me there was transformational. You know, I'm a member of a church. In my church, we have T groups. And we call them T groups. They're transformation groups. Anything that transforms you don't want you to remain stuck. It's trying to get you into another place, right? She said this book was for, it says, Deborah, Miranda, Anaya, Josiah, and all of my godchildren. Guess what? She want to make sure that the next generation doesn't have to go through some of the things that she went through. That's love. Some of us are in cycles where we can't love people. We'll only go so far. You're stuck, beloved. You don't have to be stuck. Take the time today to join me on Clubhouse. And it's the same name, just like this that you're listening to. It's called Right Where You Are. If you're in the Pacific time zone, it's going to be at 1 p.m. If you are in the Central time zone, it's going to be 2 o'clock. If you're in the Eastern time zone, if you're Pacific, it's 1 o'clock. If you're Central, it's going to be 3 o'clock. If you're Eastern, it's 4. That's 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and 4 p.m. That's Pacific, Central, and Eastern. This author is going to be in the room with us, Jamillah Cupe, Unstuckness. Let me share just a few of the chapters. Can I do that? Since I have you here, I thank you. Let me read. Wait, before I share the chapters, I'm just going to just read this part. I don't want to read too much, but it says, the core message that God has given me for you, the reader, is that God is more than able to change whatever your life looks like today. It can improve and become better, even if it's already good. I can hear God saying, I am God, regardless of where you are in life today. The challenges you are facing, difficulties and things that have constantly kept you stuck from moving forward. I am God. I am that I am, the only true God. There's no other greater than I. Regardless of how impossible things may look in your life today, I am more than able to restore you if you sincerely ask. For I am God, the restorer of all, creator of possibilities. And there is nothing too hard for me. You were not born to merely be the producer of your family and experiences. You were born for my purpose, to love and learn of me. And in doing so, you will learn of me. I love you so much that I created you in my image and likeness. I am your true mother. I am your true father. I am solution to every problem. I am the one you can confess and confide in, even with the secret, shameful, and painful things you want no one to ever know about. I am love, and I'm able to love, comfort, and console you better than any man, woman, or mother can. I am able to dissolve the deepest of scars and heal all types of wounds, including your hemorrhaging heart. I will not judge you, but comfort you. You mean more to me than your faults and sins. I want you healed. I want you healed, whole and complete, and completeness is only in me. I and only I am able to restore you perfectly. I am the restorer of your mind, body, and soul, and everything. I am able to change your hate into love, confusion into clarity, regrets into testimony, victims into victor, shame into grace, poverty into prosperity, sadness into joy, chaos into pain, death into life, and from your pain birth you into purpose. The only things that separate you from me is your choice to ignore that I exist or lack of full knowledge of who I am. If you seek me, you will find me. Call to me. I will answer. Knock on the door to me, and I will open it. It is my desire to absorb you in my presence. Acknowledge me, and I will teach, heal, strengthen, and restore you. In me is life. Outside of me is death. You must come willingly. It is my aspiration that I may dwell in you and you in me. For I sent my son, Jesus, to bring you back to me. For I love you so much, and you are my favorite creations. Jesus is the way, truth, and life. Follow him, and you will find your way to me. Stay encouraged, my beloved. I am waiting for you. This is the kind of good stuff that's in this book, Unstuckness. Listen, you want to get this book, you want to read this book, but better yet, you want to join us today. You want to join